Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, Honorable to Dr. Adib Abdul Muin, who has be our lecture in the subject Contemporary Islamic Banking. Now, we would like to present our topic Maqasid Syariah in Islamic Finance. Our group is consists four people, which is me, Fikir Mubarak, and also Mulyadi, Yahya Fuad, and the last is Andiana. For the first, I would like to begin with background and introductions. Islamic banking and finance emergence as a practical financial system is viewed by timely in the midst of a world financial crisis and a certain solution to solve the crisis. Actually, this crisis is caused by the rapid pace of development in technology and informations. And also, then because the inter-country is mutually integrated because of like export and import. So when one of them is chaos, the rest is chaos too. And this situation will lead to the global financial crisis. They use like socialist and capitalist financial system, and also maybe some of the country use mixed by socialist and capitalist. But in fact, this financial system is failed to save them from the chaos. After that, Islamic financial system is developed, and also it's expected that Islamic banking and finance can offer a coherent perspective for understanding real economic problems as well as genuine alternative to the very foundation of how economic and finance should be managed for human prosperity. And also after this, Islamic financial system is reduced to become the law of Islamic. So because more broadly cover all of aspect human life like social, ethic, moral, economic, and also they regulate relationship between human and God and also fellow human beings.
Okay, hello everyone, and then is the problem segment Maqasid Syariah in Islamic Finance and Banking. Islamic Finance and Banking operate within the framework of Maqasid Syariah, which are the hingga objective and principle of Islamic law. Third objective aim to promote justice, equity, and social welfare in financial transaction, distinguishing them from conventional finance. Despite the strong foundation of Maqasid Syariah, there are practical challenges and complexities in applying these principles into the financial system. Okay, so there are 5 problem segments that we are discussing on this section. Namely, the first one, major problem lies in the interpretation and application of Maqasid Syariah across different jurisdiction of financial institution. And then due to varying cultural, legal, and regulatory context, there is often inconsistency in understanding which objective should take precedency and how they should be prioritized in financial decision making. Secondly, the issue of financial inflation poses a significant challenges to the addressing of Maqasid Syariah. As financial market evolve rapidly, the financial product and structure emerge that might not align with the foundation principle of Islamic law. Thirdly, the question of financial inclusion and accessibility within Islamic finance raise concern about with the Maqasid Syariah are effectively serving marginality of underrepresented communities. Will Islamic finance process to promote economic justice and inclusivity? Practical barriers such as limited access to Sharia compliant product and service might hinder its ability to achieve their objectively. And then the issue of activity of transparency in Islamic financial institution pose colleague to the realization of maqasid syariah. Instancy of non-compliance or unethical behavior among financial institutions undermine the credibility and trust in Islamic finance as a viable alternative to conventional banking. Okay, and then the last point related to the problem segment of maqasid syariah in Islamic finance and banking. Is the global natural of financial market present and colleagues to the harmonization of maqasid syariah across different jurisdictions. As Islamic finance expand beyond its traditional stronghold, standardizing practice and interpretation become increasingly complex. Okay, and then common issue in Islamic finance and banking, business and entrepreneurship. Maqasid syariah is the goal or purpose that Sharia of or Islamic law aim to achieve in the context of Islamic finance and banking. Maqasid syariah play an important role in ensuring that all financial transaction and product adjust to Sharia principle that aim to protect and enhance the welfare of humanity. Islamic finance face various challenges in the implementation, especially in the context of applying maqasid syariah. The following are some of the key issues and challenges. The first one, lack of humanization and standardization of regulation. Different interpretation of Sharia law in different countries and lack of regulation humanization create challenges in the consistent application of Sharia principle. And then secondly, lack of technology and digital infrastructure. Islamic finance often begin when to come to the adoption of modern technologies then can improve on the effectivity and accessibility of service. And then lack of education and awareness. Many people still lack an understanding of the principle of Islamic finance and its benefit. But both in Muslim majority or non-Muslim countries, this lack of understanding of Islamic finance hinder wider adoption and reduce public confidence in Islamic finance product. And then the last point related common issue in Islamic finance and banking, business and entrepreneurship is lack of transparency and unequal business practice. This can significantly undermine trust in interest in business environment when companies fail to be transparent. It often leads to the following issue. Number one, erosion of truth, reputation damage, legal consequences, financial loss, employers moral, and then market instability. Okay, the next slide is related to issue in business and entrepreneurship. Maqasid syariah or the ultimate goal of Islamic law play an important role in various aspects of life, including business and entrepreneurship in the context of Islamic finance and banking. Maqasid syariah aim to protect five essential religion, soul, intellect, and offering and property. These principles are also relevant in assessing and addressing issues faced in business and entrepreneurship. The following is a discussion of how issues in business and entrepreneurship related to maqasid syariah in Islamic finance and banking. The first one, access to Islamic funding. While the second, transparency and ethics in business, product innovation and Islamic entrepreneurship, access gap to Syariah market, education and skill in Islamic business, risk management in Islamic business, and then the last point, related issue in business and entrepreneurship is compliance with Syariah regulation.
For the next slide is definition and concept of maqasid syariah. Actually, there are many scholars that define the maqasid syariah, but I think the comprehensive definition is delivered by Asatibi. They said maqasid syariah is daf'ul mafasid muqaddam alal jalbil masalih. It means is to serve the interests of all human beings and to save them from harm. In short, it's healthy progress by promoting the well-being and rightness of the human being. Meanwhile, maslahah is juristic device that has always been used in Islamic legal theory to promote public benefit and prevent social evils or corruptions. So, the maslahah is the main objective in maqasid syariah because it promote public benefit. So, many scholars use the meaning of maslahah in maqasid syariah and vice versa. So I think the meaning of maqasid syariah and maslahah mursalah is same. For the next, I will mention the 5 objectives of maqasid syariah, which is hifdul din, hifdul nafas, hifdul aql, hifdul nasl, and hifdul mal. And nowadays there are several articles that say they suggest additional essential needs such as equality, freedom, environmental protection and preservation. We know with green economy come from environmental protection and preservation. And the next is characteristic of maqasid syariah. There are 4 points. The first is purpose of welfare, means daf'ul maqasid and muqaddam alal jalbil masalih. So it's service, it's serve the interest of all human beings and also save them from harm. The second is universality, means apply to all of humanity. So when one of them it's not apply this maqasid, it will affect to the others because its universality it's need to imply with all of human. The third point is absolute nature, so it encompasses all human actions such as muamalah, ibadah, munakahat, and so on. And the last point is definitive proof, means that the five objective is supported by several verses, several hadis, several ijma and qiyas. So the last is categories of maqasid syariah. There are 2 points. The first is general and specific objective, and the second is micro and macro objective. General maqasid syariah is require wisdom to the deep and complex definitions because it needs careful interpretation and application. That I will explain in the next slide. And the specific objective aim to prevent personal interests that cause harm to public good. The second is micro and macro objective. Micro objective mean focus on ensuring fair, transparent transaction, and so on. So it prevent action like corruption, greed, stickiness, and so on. And the macro objective is aim to reduce inequality. So by imply the micro objective, macro objective should be implied too. For the next slide is illustration for concept of general objective delivered by Asatibi and also concept of maslahah mursalah. The first is general objective by Asatibi contains three main points. The first is Daruriyat, Hajiyat, and the last is Tahsiniyat. Daruriyat must be met, otherwise it will damage its values. For example, managers are expected to strive for the preservation and protection of essential needs. Even if higher profits could be achieved, as neglecting these needs may cause disruption and chaos in society. For the second is Hajiyat, which is considered beneficial from removing difficulties, should be addressed even though it may not pose a direct threat to the survival of the normal order. This including ensuring that employees receive fair pay and work in a safe environment. And the last is Tahsiniyat, refer to the acceptation that Islamic firms should fulfill their social responsibility by engaging in activities or programs that benefit the community. For example, including contributing to charity, donating to the poor and needy, offering interest-free loans, and so on. The second is concept of maslahah mursalah. When the maslahah is smaller than mafsadah, then the maslahah is rejected. However, when the mafsadah is smaller than maslahah, then mafsadah is tolerated.
Okay, thank you very much for your attention. The previous and also the previous presenter, which will be presented about the Maqasid Syariah. So we continue about Maqasid Syariah in the slide. The implementation of Maqasid Syariah. The implementation of Maqasid Syariah in Usulul Khamsah, that from the 5 basic components of Maqasid Syariah can be seen how broad things can be related. This is according to Ash-Shatibi. Firstly, maintaining religion. Maintaining religion is an absolute necessity of human life. Without religion, there is no meaning to the life that has been life. Religion is the first of all basic needs. In order to protect the glory of religion, the Sharia has stipulated severe punishment for any crimes against religion. Religion is placed as the first component because all the teaching of Sharia direct every human being to act in accordance with the will and pleasure of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. The economic relationship in the aspect of maintaining religion is the enable every economic activity in Islam to become on an act of worship. So we continue about the slide. Secondly, safeguarding the soul. The purpose of protecting the soul in this case is to maintain the right to life with honor and protect the soul so as not to be exposed to bad acts of torture such as murder, cutting and certain body parts or some harm, including the consumption of foods can damage the body or too expensive in consumption, or namely in Arabic israf. They continue shortly, respecting the intellect. Sharia is to view the mind of every human being as a form of gift from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, which is very important. With reasons of human can distinguish between good and bad. With the existence of human reasons, humans are ordered to worship Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. People without reason are not burdened with the duties of this Sharia. Therefore, the mind must be guarded, nurtured, and protected. Sharia forbids alcohol and all things that can kill the creativity of the mind as well as the spirit of human labor. And fourthly, preserving progeny. Both worldly and ukhrawi benefits can be instead intended by Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for continuity from one generation up to the next. There is no meaning in Sharia that is applied to a generation if that generation is destroyed. Therefore, Islam has related marriage and forbidden adultery. Then the marriage determined who can be married to the procedure involved in the marriage is well as the condition and pillars that must be fulfilled. So everything is a form of preserving and maintaining clean and healthy offspring. Insurance and peaceful atmosphere. So, and the last, safeguarding property. Although in a sense, every property is the ownership is Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Islam recognizes one's personal right. Islam prescribes rules regarding muamalat such as buying and selling, lending, renting, pawning, and so on, in which there is also a prohibition on fraudulent practice and usury practice. Safeguarding the property is cohesion, is to relate the muamalah system on the basis of justice, willingness, as well as trying to develop the wealth and left in the hands of people who can keep it well. Because the property is in the hands of individuals can be forces for the whole community as long as it can be cancelled properly. So can continue the next slide. The next slide explain about the importance of Maqasid Sharia in Islamic economic and finance. So there are several reasons why Maqasid Sharia is important to be used as a foundation in Islamic finance. So namely, firstly, Maqasid Sharia. Maqasid Sharia promise a financial system free from riba interest, which is known to create instability in the economy. A riba-free system reduces expensive debt burdens, decreases flood risk, and prevents unhealthy speculation. So, that diagnosing the causes of the crisis can only lead for this related to the perspective of Islamic finance, creating interest, selling subprime, mortgage debt, and short selling, and the absence of risk sharing. This makes it harder to creditor to pay the religions to debtors, thus increasing the risk of default. And secondly, Maqasid Sharia provides resistance to fluctuations and things that are speculative. Maqasid Sharia addresses this by stating if there is capital gain motive, there is an element of gharar in it, which is prohibited in Islam. So we continue shortly. Maqasid Sharia supports social and economic welfare. This can be seen in many PMTS, or namely in Baitul Mal wa Tamwil, that provides small interest-free loans and to micro entrepreneurship and low-income individuals. Therefore, Islamic financial instruments such as zakat, wakaf, and sodaqah were established. The management of these instruments is now much more effective with many productive distributions. And the last, fourthly, Maqasid Sharia can increase transparency and trust in Islamic financial institutions by promoting transparency, justice, and honesty. It mentioned that transparency and accountability creates customer trust. Continue by the slide example of Maqasid Sharia Islamic finance. The Islam example of Maqasid Sharia in Islamic finance. Firstly, in securities contract, rohan, urbun, and kafalah. So in this approach align with the principle of maslahah public interest. Similarly, when discussing urpun is earnest money. That urpun is the amount paid to grant the buyer a waiting period to decide whether to proceed with or withdraw from the contract. This concept conditions fairness within the framework of maslahah mursalah, or uninterested public interest. Furthermore, regarding the fee for kafalah guarantee, he agrees with contemporary scholars who permit charging a fee for kafalah based on public interest and society needs. And secondly, in takaful, regarding takaful dan Islam insurance, it stated that protecting property from damage and fraction is one of the objectives of Maqasid Syariah. This goal is achieved with draft takaful, where the policy aims to preserve the value of assets naturally. This must be free from gharar, uncertainty, maisir gambling, and riba interest. So, firstly, capital market. In Islamic capital market, maka Sharia is applied in the capital market to create a market that promotes activities within the bounds of halal and fosters good while preventing haram. And the next provides opportunities for the Sharia compliance advancement and business activities in both primary and secondary markets. The next establish platform for liquidity, and the last facilitate permissible profit making and wealth accumulation. And the last, in Islamic stock markets, the importance of educational platform for stock market participants to promote transparency and honesty. This helps to avoid error and ambiguity, as well as misleading and misrepresentation, enabling traders to make informed decisions. So this is the example of Maqasid Syariah Islamic finance. So we can continue about the slide. The next presenter. Thank you very much.
My name is Andiana. I will explain about challenges and opportunities of Maqasid Syariah in finance banking. The first in challenges and opportunities, the firstly growth of potential. Islamic finance has substantial growth potential due to increasing demand for Sharia compliance financial product and service. This growth is driven by the large Muslim population global, which seek financial solutions that align with their religion beliefs. Additional, the ethical and social welfare principle of Islamic finance attract non-Muslims who are interested in sustainable and ethical investment options. And then secondly, challenge and opportunity, there is growth factor. Several factors contribute to the growth of Islamic finance, demographic trends, and regulatory support. And then innovation. Demographic trends, grow Muslim population increase the demand for Sharia compliance financial product. Regulatory support, government in Muslim majority countries are creating supportive regulatory framework for Islamic finance. And then innovation, the development of new Sharia compliance financial product and service gets to diverse need fostering industry growth. And then challenges in factors, internal challenges. Islamic financial institute face internal challenges such as lack of skilled professional, operational efficiency, and then product development. Next challenges, there is Sharia challenges. In Sharia challenges, Islamic finance must address challenges related to Sharia compliance, like interpretation variability, certification and supervision, and then education and awareness. And next, Sharia compliance. Sharia compliance with Sharia principle is fundamental to Islamic finance because that is avoidance of riba, and then elimination of gharar or uncertainty, and promotion of social welfare. The next factor is social potential and role. Islamic finance has significant social potential like financial inclusion, and then ethical investment and community development. And then for external challenges, in challenges and opportunities, Islamic finance face external challenges such as competition with conventional finance. Islamic financial institution must compete with well-established conventional bank, which might have more extensive product offering and infrastructure. And then global integration. Integrating Islamic finance into the global financial system requires overcoming regulatory and standardization hurdles. And last, market awareness. In external challenges, market awareness, increasing awareness and acceptance of Islamic financial product among global investors is essential for growth. That is point illustrate for diverse landscape of challenges and opportunity in Islamic finance, highlighting its potential for growth while acknowledge and the complexities it must negative. Next slide is about recommendation from implementation and recommendation this part. The first government, and then from public sector and society, and then government linked companies and other related institutions. The first from government, he can international collaborate from implementation of financial Islamic, and then development of Islamic financial infrastructure. About the public sector recommendation, firstly Sharia based performance, and then corporate social responsibility. And from recommendation from the society, education and awareness from the user, and then oversight and active participation. From the government linked companies, recommendation, the first of advocacy and influence. Advocacy and influence, and then risk management and compliance strengthening. And the last recommendation from the related institution, the firstly is development of sustainable product, and then strengthening governance. I think there is my explain about the recommendation and challenges and opportunity. So thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.